Welcome back. We are still with Hiruni and Lakshita, and we are having a good laugh behind the stage. Behind the stage or backstage, I don't know what it is. Anyway, we are having a good laugh out here. We are having so much fun talking to each other. And I'm going to ask a few questions that I secretly asked him before we came back to the show. Yes, we were talking about Hiruni, how much excitement that you had after you won the competition. Lakshita was saying that you cried like an actress. Was that true?
No, what happened was when the judges announced, what they do is they give a brief about what we did and what were the highlights they saw in our case study, and then only they announced the name, right?
And they mentioned a certain word. Lakshita was saying that
we actually used the word empathy. And we were talking about that. That was one of our emotional words that we used.
Okay.
So they said empathy, and then we both looked at each other and we were like, oh, okay. And then right after that they were like, all three judges started crying after their presentation, and then we were like, can't be us. Can't be us. And then when they announced Sri Lanka, I was like, what?
Are you sure?
What? And they were like, Sri Lanka, come. I was like, oh, okay.
And I started crying.
And he was like laughing. He's like laughing and laughing, I'm like crying.
I'm not surprised. Even while telling the story, he was like all in belly full of laughter. You were like, no, you're exaggerating. But yeah, I'm sure it was a very emotional moment out there.
Definitely.
Yeah, but it's very touching for the fact that you made the judges cry. You told me that the judges represented so many international arenas, right? Making them cry is not as easy as making a Sri Lankan or an Indian cry.
Yes, exactly.
For sure. So by a brief presentation, you captured their hearts. That's amazing.
I think we were really, like I said before, so we were very passionate, and that emotions in us came out very naturally. So I think that actually captured their hearts, and that was probably would have been one reason why we won.
Okay.
We believed in that. Yes. We believed in our idea so much.
Yes. And during the presentation also, we actually chose the images also very carefully for the presentation, to make it very emotional, but powerful. The main thing that we wanted to in the brief and everything what we highlighted was, it is very powerful. A woman empathizing another woman is really powerful, but it's very emotional. So that was the two things that we highlighted throughout the presentation, and I think that would have been the thing that made them cry.
Yeah, and rather than being very technical, I think putting emotion into it was also a little tactic.
We had a good balance, I think. That was the key thing. So that actually helped us a lot.
Yeah. Now, Hiruni, you mentioned believing. You believed in what you did, so that was actually a push for your victory. That's what you believe, right?
Yes.
So, moving slightly away from the awards, now tell us about when you were growing up. What did you want to do? Who did you believe that you would be? Everybody has this little dream of becoming a doctor or an engineer, and our dear Lakshita over here wanted to be a CEO and all those things.
No, actually, when I was young, I wanted to be an engineer. Then
you changed your mind.
Coming into the corporate world, I thought, why stop being an engineer? I wanted to be a CEO.
Okay, amazing. So tell us about how you grew up. How was your childhood like? And what were your passions back then? Are they the same now? Are you carrying on with the same thought line?
When I was really small, I started my education in Dubai. Actually, we were living there.
Okay.
And then after the age of 8 only, we came back to Sri Lanka, and then I started my education at Alithia International School. So basically my passion was dancing. And
Lakshita was saying that you're a good dancer.
Yes. So I'm more into very aesthetic side. So dancing, singing, drama, and I did a little bit of netball as well. But mostly, it was just two things: my education and dancing. So with regard to education, of course, I think when I was in my teenagers, I didn't expect to be a marketer because I wasn't sure of what field.
Yeah.
But definitely it was something to do with business, and I'll be one woman, a career woman, a career oriented woman.
Yeah.
So I didn't really specifically see a field or anything like that. But one thing I believed was you need to strike a balance. So I made sure it's not just education only. I had my extracurricular activities, and I participated in almost everything in school, whether it's like the English day, drama day,
all those days,
everything, even Islamic day. I was acting in one of those dramas also. So all these religious
basically, you're an overall student.
overall, because I mean the school I'm in also, like, they encourage you to actually, you know, participate in so many things.
Yeah,
so
that's amazing.
all around basically I did everything. Balanced everything. Yeah.
Okay, so moving on from there now, like I asked you before we broke up into a commercial break, you're a young woman, a passionate young woman, as I can see. How does it feel like to be a young woman and representing us in a male-oriented world? I mean, it's almost everybody out there in your stream is a male, at least the people who are famous.
Yeah.
So how do you feel like being a woman and being in that area?
I think that's the first thing that you shouldn't feel. You shouldn't think of yourself as a woman, and then
you're
you know,
separated.
That's the first thing you shouldn't do, because then you feel inferior about yourself, and you think you should be treated special or anything like that. I don't believe in that. I think, I mean, whether it's a man or a woman, you know, I think you have your same objectives, and you know, you achieve it, you know, with the same kind of passion. So that, I think that is what really, you know, is in me everywhere I go. I mean, there have been questions asked like, okay, you're going to a country all by yourself, you know, aren't you worried about your security and all that? He was there, yes.
Okay, then let's talk about that later.
Yes, so I mean, you shouldn't think of yourself, you know, as a lady and I can't do this, you know, I'm a girl. That attitude should be totally taken off.
That's part of insecurity, I think. You know,
exactly.
I mean, if you're confident in yourself,
confident, and you know what you're doing. You have to be careful of how you behave also.
Exactly.
As a lady, you have to be a lady at the end. You can't just think of, you know, in a bad way. So that balance should be there, and you shouldn't restrict yourself just because you're a woman. You should never, you know, stop yourself from doing something. You know, make sure you go and just achieve it.
Wow. And how does our male party answer that? Let's have a debate right now. Who's the best marketer?
Yes.
The female John or the male John? Okay, so now Lakshit, like you said, you were providing security to Siruni?
Not really. She said that she was all by herself. I was there.
So that means, what does that mean really?
So we did it together. I mean,
okay, we are not giving all credit to her.
No, not like that.
I'm joking. Okay, so what were your passions, and how did you grow up? Tell us about. Were you also an overall active student?
You can say that.
Okay.
I grew up in Tangol. My father was an engineer, so I always wanted to be an engineer at that time. So from scholarship I got into the Royal College, and then I did well in A-levels and got into the university, and then did engineering, electronics and telecommunication. More yes.
Awesome.
More to university. I did drawing, I did volleyball, those were the extracurricular.
But you did netball and did volleyball. Amazing. Okay.
Yes. I did drawing, and then I passed out from the university. At the university itself, I completed my CIMA qualification as well. So I had the engineering, technical, and the finance background. And when I got into the, when I got my first job, I joined as an engineer, and I was there as an engineer for 2 years. And then I thought, why should I be constrained into a single field? Now that I have finance and engineering, I should learn more about business and get an overall understanding about the business. Then that is when I decided to go into sales. I got a lot of support from different people. So many people supported me to be what I am today. So with the help of those people, I moved into careers from sales to marketing also, from starting from devices, enterprise solutions to finance to
wow.
So I was there in different fields. I think that is one of my strengths, and it added a lot of value in the competition as well, because we made our case very practical in business and all that. So our combination really worked, because she had been in the creative and advertising industry, I had been in product and business angle, I had the perspective, so it really worked. So
so you two were like the perfect blend.
Yes,
that's amazing.
I think that would be correct.
It really worked.
How did you fall together? How did you meet? And how did you form this team of victory?
Well, we've been friends for a couple of, for a while now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
how many years? Starting from 2008.
Yeah. So we've been working together, and what happened was last year also the same national competition was held, and I took part in it, but with another person, with another colleague of mine, but we got second place. So I thought, okay, next year also, still I will keep on participating until we win.
Yeah.
And
Superwoman. I'm not surprised. Woman of steel. Okay.
Yeah. And this year actually I just happened to ask him like, okay, there is this competition like this, would you like to take part with me? And at that time he wasn't actually
I didn't
aware
know what
also
it is.
of what the competition
I
is.
knew that there's competition like this because she participated last year, and other one also was a common friend of ours, but I didn't know that. I actually didn't want, had no intention in participating this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then she came and asked me only. I thought, why not give it a shot?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Superwoman is by my side.
Yeah. So,
I don't have to do anything. I just have to stand there and wait until she finishes all the work. Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah, so
and how did that evolve?
yeah, that's how we actually got into it. I mean, anyways, we have been good friends. So I mean, not only that, I think we are like two opposites. So when it comes to developing the case, also like he said before,
Yeah.
we argued a lot, and he has his own point of view, I have my own point of view, and that also helped, because I mean, if you go on the same line
crafted
and
the
if
case.
we like just agree with each
Yeah,
other, then
yeah.
it wouldn't have been a good case as
Yeah.
such.
It won't
Here-
be so innovative.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here we like debated so much, and we almost fought with each other. No, this is how it's supposed to be. No, so I think that the personality actually really works in this combination.
Okay. Rakshita, anything to add to that?
yes, I totally agree with her. It really worked.
Now he's agreeing with him. Now all the arguments are over. Now we are fought
Yes,
enough.
yes,
now
now
we are
we are-
agreeing with each other. Since we won.
Since we won.
Well, on that note, we are coming back after a very small commercial break to talk about the future. Now that we've done talking about the past and the present, we'll be right back. Don't go away.